Hello, welcome to My Neck of the Woods, the show where we learn to embrace the treasure that's in our own backyard. Many of you know me from my show, Now You See Me. On that show, we deal with the internal issues or the internal revelations. In this show, I'm going to show you a little bit more about the people and the places in my environment and in my surroundings. I'm going to show you the outside of things. Many people ask me, how'd you get that job? So this is what I did, y'all. I went first to www.usajobs.gov. Okay? And so the first thing I would do is put in keywords, just like you would any other job. You go through here, you get a list like this right here. So basically, whatever you're looking for a job for, whether it's a teacher or a principal or a counselor or a nurse or anything like that that deals with the education system, you can go to usajobs.gov. Now, there are other types of positions called NAP positions, and so those deal mostly with morale and family. They're support positions. Just some other jobs that are available for you would be the Defense Commissary Agency, the defense contractors. Different types of companies come over to work and aid whatever the U.S. efforts are over here. And then you have Army and Air Force Exchange Services, AFEs. So there's a lot of different ways if you want to work with U.S. anything. Also, though, many people over here don't work for the U.S. They just work for different companies. And or they work for international schools and things like that. So there's a lot of opportunity if you just look for it. But you have to look for it, and you have to be willing to take that leap. So what your girl did once she got that application in, once she got those interviews, once she got that offer, she went and got her passport, her very first one. They even let me keep my sewing on, and my hair is in my face. Your hair is not supposed to be in your face. And so when I first got to Germany, I ended up in a place called Schweinfurt. Okay, Schweinfurt was getting ready to close, but as far as a place to get my feet wet, that was a pretty decent place to get my feet wet. Okay, so let's talk about Germany in general. Well, I didn't want to just sit up and give you a geography lesson, but I just kind of want you to kind of get a feel for Germany and how it's right smack dab in the middle of everything. Because you got Germany in the middle of France and Belgium and Switzerland and Austria, and you got Poland over here. So in Amsterdam and the Netherlands, and so you have all these places all around it. So it was interesting when I first got here. The music that I heard on that particular radio station was American. And so, and it's another thing that I had to get used to was people staring. And it's like they stared you down. It's like when you walked into the room. Now, being a woman of color, your mind has a tendency to go there. I say have a tendency to go there. It doesn't stay there. Turns out, though, they stare at everybody. So it wasn't just me. It's just the culture where they size you up. They got to size you up. They got to know what they're dealing with. And that's the way that they are. And most people, they'll look at, or they'll hear about the Autobahn. Autobahn simply means freeway. And yes, there are limits on the freeway. Now, there are spells here and there where you can kind of drive as fast as you want to, but there's more areas that limit your speed than there are areas that tell you can zoom as fast as you want to. Okay? And most of the time, anyway, there's some type of style. There's doing some kind of construction on the road. And most of the time, we all merge 3 lanes into one, and we're trying to go from one place to the other. And you just get used to it. And I'm not complaining, because this is a country that has great infrastructure. Is very important to them. Keeping things up, trying to keep things nice is very important to them. Trust me, I am not complaining. And then I do remember when I first got a letter from somebody German, and it had an exclamation mark at the end. And you know, for us, it means strong feelings and strong meaning. And I'm like, what in the world? Why are they mad? Did I make them mad? So, and that too is a cultural thing. They just kind of want to make that point and stress that point. Whatever they're talking, whatever they're communicating. Okay. Now let's talk money, shall we? Now in the States, I would take my nickels and dimes or whatever, just kind of put them to the side. You know, they were important, but not as important as coins are to me right now. So I'm looking at both of these. Stacks look like they're about the same size and height. Now, this stack has 5 American quarters, which is $1.25. This stack that's the same size is about €8, which is a little over about close to $9 of $9 US. So yes, let's just say the euro. I pay attention to that. I pay attention to everything. I have my little change purse. Make sure I keep all my money together. All right. But anyway, I stayed there, like I said, 1 year. Then it was time to go. That was just a place for me to kind of get my feet wet, kind of get used to some of the customs, trying to get used to being away from home and all of that good stuff. But after a year, had to pack my bags, got packed up. I am on my way down to a city called Ansbach. Wow. And I would say with Ansbach, big impact on my life, major impact on my growth, major, just a little bit of everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But let's look at Ansbach. Come on. As we're looking here, we're going through what is normally typical of most German towns. You normally will have what they would call like a city center where all the main stores are and people hang out and normally. And people are just out. They're having a good time. They're shopping. They're in the cafe. They're in the stores, and they're just kind of doing their thing. And as you see, their stores are just like our stores, and clothes and things of that nature. And of course, there's antique shops and things like that. So it's just a lot of memories from Ansbach. And of course, and their version of the Dollar Tree, or the dollar store. This is the Euro store right here. And they are truly fascinated sometimes with American stars and such. And there's artwork and buildings and parliament, as you would call it, the governmental buildings and stuff like that. And I know I'm showing you all this kinds of stuff, but I'm just showing you the first major city I stayed in, where I got used to just the German culture a little bit more, a little bit better, made a few friends, met some quality people, grew up, learned to know who Jeannette was a little bit better, and I would trade nothing for the experience. Okay, going for my walk, I decided to just take a dive in these woods. My huge backyard. It's beautiful. It's a really great morning to be walking. It's really pretty out here this morning. Nice and cool, not too hot, not too cold. Nice walking weather. And I know people are saying, as they see me walking these woods, she's walking in these woods. Walking in the woods in Germany is a little different than walking in the woods in the United States. In certain parts of the United States, I'll say that. Not that I'm not supposed to be careful, but it's a little bit more of the norm here to be able to walk on all the trails. There are trails everywhere leading to different cities, leading to different towns. People bike through here, walk here over on Sundays for leisurely family strolls. And as you see, I am gonna turn the camera here. As you see, I am not too far from civilization, the actual community that I live in. The trails go around the community, so I'm never too far from civilization, if you put it that way. So for those who are worried, I can dodge and duck and dodge right out of these woods back into civilization. So I'm never too far. I'm never, ever too far from the houses and the community that I stay in. And as you see how big this road is, cars still come through here. Matter of fact, when I first got here, my GPS took me on one of these roads. And you see how wide this road is. Cars still come through here. As a matter of fact, when I was trying to find this location, my GPS took me on one of these little back roads. And my city self didn't know quite what to do. It didn't know quite what was going on. But I got out of these woods, rather, and made my way to my destination. I think I'm gonna have me a little seat on this bench for a minute. You know, anytime you're dealing with the unknown, it's really, really difficult to navigate it at first. And it's not going to be easy when you do it. The thing is to keep plugging away, especially if you're feeling that tug, and you felt that tug rather, that this came from heaven. The assignment came from heaven. The move came from God. And so you tough it out, you pray. You tough it out some more, you pray. And you just take one day at a time. And so if you're called to do something like this, or just something new in general, then I ask you to embrace it, to take that step forward. It took me a minute to even get used to being comfortable walking around in these woods, because that's not something that we did at home. We don't walk around in the woods at home. So yeah, this was a thing. But now I enjoy it immensely because of the peace that's here. And especially in this country, how they have things set up. There's a trail everywhere. This is a norm for them. Like I said, in all places, in all things, you're going to be careful. But yeah, this is a thing that if I ever had to move again, I would miss. I would miss being able to do this. I would miss being able to be out in nature like this. And like I said, in some parts of the United States, you still can do it. But in parts that I've heard about, no, I don't really think that's a good idea. Okay? At least not alone. How about that? At least not alone. Okay? Let me get back on my walk, y'all. I'm going to talk to you later. And then you have here, all throughout the woods, signs. You have signs that tell you where everything is, what direction, what path to take, to let you know that in this country, traveling these paths and walking to work and doing what you needed to do was like a thing. It was a real thing. There's a horse down this road. I always like to see if he's out. I just like watching him, that's all. I just had a funny thought while I was walking. I was picturing my mother when she sees this, saying, "Girl, you better stay out of the woods. What you doing in them woods, Jeanette?" It was funny. I took a poll to get other people's opinions about living in Germany or having lived in Germany. And so the poll said, if you live or have lived in Germany, what do you love or miss most? I got these kind of responses. I love not being afraid to walk my dogs at 10 p.m. or really any time of the day or night. It feels safe. Hiking trails and cafes, love them. Eating at restaurants without being rushed. A sense of being safe any time of the day or night. The architecture and the people, hands down. Exploring everything. German drivers follow rules. I love the feeling of not worrying about my safety as I do in the States. Church. My church family. I love being so close to other countries. Community. I miss people and going to France and doner kebabs. Leaving to go to another European country. My family. They all live in Germany and Austria. I miss the quaint villages, Christmas markets, easy access to other countries, amazing bike trails, bakery in every village, flow marts, buying wine at Aldi, and hearing the church bells in the villages. Nature. I loved your yard. It was nice and comfortable. Plus, you can walk on the trail and get food from a castle. Is everything an answer? Definitely miss the feel of community. The wonderful train system, Christmas and Easter markets, leisurely dining, outdoor dining, and living where I can walk to restaurants and shops. We miss everything, but mainly walking past, the ability to get in our car and be in another country in no time. We miss the greenery. I can go on, but I won't. Oh, we miss you too. We also miss the genuine sense of community. I miss the Alps. I love that shops are closed on Sunday and that it is a family day. I love the hiking trails, all the nature and all the farm animals in the Spingdalen area. Wonderful people too. Driving there, the roads and drivers in the United States are horrible. Bakeries. This person, I miss everything. I know for some, Germany may not necessarily have been your place to be, but whatever or wherever your place is, embrace it. Live in it. Enjoy the little things. Live. You know, when I first started my television show, I was terrified. One, because it was uncharted territory. And another reason was because of the name itself, Now You See Me. It gave the air of transparency. And I wasn't sure if I was ready for everybody to see me. But I said yes. And it's been a journey that I will never forget nor regret. It was maturing. It caused me to open up. It caused me to not be afraid of my feelings. It was fun to create. Even if some of the topics, I will be honest, I didn't really want to talk about, but I felt in my heart of hearts that that's what I was supposed to be talking about that week. But as you go through one thing and you're at one level, then God puts you in a position where you go to the next level. I have a channel, Filling in the Gap, and the name itself speaks volumes. It means that we're going to be filling in the spaces and giving people information that's going to move them from point A to point B. I know in my life, it seems like I was right there on the edge of something always, and then somebody came by to give me what I needed to push me on to the next level. And that's what I want for this channel. So if you are a person that feels like God has called you and you have a vision, you have something to share with the people. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be cooking, it could be exercise, it could be whatever. But you're really, really feeling like what you have is what somebody else needs. Then you may be the person that's perfect for this channel. Click on the link, fill in your information, and you will get a link to the session via email. Okay? So I am looking forward to talking to you. I am looking forward to talking to you, and I'm excited for you. I'm very excited for you because I know on the other end, there's just people recognizing your brilliance. Go ahead, sign up.